everyone, my name's Alex and I'm a physiotherapist from Physiofunction, and I'm going to be taking this level 1 different strokes exercise class today. So this is week 3 of our upper limb series. So this week for our exercise classes, if you have access to sitting at a table, then sit nearby there so you can do some of the exercises at a table. Alternatively, if like me, you're not going to be near a table, you could just use a pillow and a tray if you have one to pop on your lap. I will also get you to have a tea towel. So I've got a pillow and a tray or a placemat that I'm sticking on my lap to use for one of the exercises. So you could do similar, or alternatively, if you can make your way to a table for that specific exercise, I will let you know when it's going to be. So this week we are going to be working on horizontal movements, okay? So we're focused on different types of movements over the last couple of weeks, including pushing and pulling and pushing and pulling up and down. And then this week we're going to think about a cross body movement. So we're going to start with a warm-up, and then we're going to go into some general upper body mobility and activation exercises, and then into our main circuit. So level 1 exercises, for anyone that hasn't joined us before, are for people who may not have any effective movement in their affected arm and leg. Okay, it is a seated class, so there will be no standing at all in this exercise class. And just be aware that it is a requirement that you have someone available there to assist you with exercises as needed. Okay, so let's get started. We're going to start just by doing a general warm-up. So if you can try and start having a march in your chair, so you can hold your hands together and think about moving from your waist. If you have any movement in your arm, then try and join in as much as you can. And also with your affected leg, try and join in just as much as you can. If you've got no movement at all in your affected side, then you can just join in with your unaffected side. Alternatively, just doing and thinking about moving that affected limb as much as you can. Now we're just thinking of getting our body a little bit warmer to start with. So don't worry about how big the movements are. We're just having a go at moving. I want you to really try and sit nice and tall in your chair with your back away from the chair if possible, or just minimizing how much pressure you're putting through the back. Lovely, and let's do some heel taps on the floor if you can. Trying to lift and tap that foot forward. Getting your heel down if possible. You can keep doing a little bit of a twist at your waist. That's it. Again, doesn't matter what it looks like. Just about having a move to start with. I'm trying to keep that nice posture. So sitting nice and tall in your chair. Lovely, moving at your own pace. Very good. Okay, let's see if now we can do a side step. Okay, so remember, on your affected side, you're just moving in whatever way you can. If you have the ability to do the side step, then please do. If not, if you can just pick up your leg, then I want you just to pick up that leg and think about that sideward movement. Or alternatively, if you do not have any movement again, you could think about pushing your knee out into your hand and then stepping your other leg, pushing your knee out into your hand or into your assistant's hand and stepping your other leg, or just focusing on your unaffected side. Lovely. One more each way and relax. Fantastic. So if you pop your hand on your right knee, so both hands together, I want you to turn to look over your right shoulder. Sitting nice and tall, thinking about turning from your waist. Back to the middle, hands to the left knee. Turn to look over your left shoulder. Sit nice and tall, really move from your waist. And back to the middle. Hands to the right knee. Turn to look over your right shoulder. So we're just resting our hands there. We're not using it to pull ourselves around. And back in. Hands to the left knee and turn. Moving from that waist. And back to the middle. We're going to do one more time each way. Hands to the right knee. Turn, if you can, looking over your right shoulder as far as you can. Really using your muscles in your tummy to turn rather than pulling. Back to the middle. Hands on the left knee. Turn, move from that tummy. And back to the middle. Okay, hands resting on your lap. I want you to round your back and slump in the chair, dropping your head down. Then we're going to grow nice and tall. Tuck in that chin. Squeeze those shoulders back together, drawing those tummy muscles. Sit nice and tall in your best posture. And then round your back. Drop that head, chin to chest. Grow nice and tall. Tuck in that chin. Draw in those tummy muscles. Shoulders squeezed back. Good. And again, round and drop that head if you want to. And then grow tall, tummy in, shoulders back, tuck in that chin. Good. Do two more here. We're going to round that back, drop that head. Then we're going to grow nice and tall. Squeeze those shoulders back together. Draw in all those tummy muscles around your waist. Imagine they're like a corset and everything's pulling in together. Tuck in that chin, sit nice and tall. And then round that back, drop that head, chin to chest. And grow nice and tall again. Shoulders back, head, chin tucked in. Everything pulling in around that waist to support your back and give you your balance. And then relax. Lovely. Let's straighten out that right knee. So if you can do, we're going to think about sliding that foot on the ground to straighten the knee. If you can pick up that foot, squeezing that thigh muscle to straighten your knee. And then we're going to pull that leg back underneath you as far as you can. Now, if that's a bit of a challenge, you can use your other leg to help. So you can slide forward, helping a little bit with your other leg. Squeeze your thigh muscle. And then we can pull back, again, helping with your unaffected side if needed. Thinking about squeezing the muscles at the back of your thigh. Okay, and again, straightening that knee as much as you can, assisting as you need with your unaffected side. Squeeze your thigh muscle at the front. And then pull back. Squeeze that thigh muscle at the back. Let's do two more on this side. So we're straightening, assisting with your unaffected side if needed. Squeeze that thigh muscle. Really think about that muscle at the front of your thigh there. And then we're going to bend. Think about squeezing the muscle behind your thigh. Pull that foot back underneath you. One more. Straighten, squeezing that thigh muscle at the front, lifting that foot if you can. And then bend. Muscle at the back here. Really squeeze it to bring that foot back, assisting with your other leg. Okay, so let's go on to your other leg now. So again, we're going to straighten. If you can, and this is your unaffected side, then try and lift that leg off the floor, squeeze that thigh, and then pull back, bringing that leg behind you. Now, if you really struggle, this is where your assistant can help you just straighten that knee, keeping the foot on the floor, squeezing your thigh muscle, and sliding that foot back. Remember, if this is really tricky, you can put a plastic bag underneath your foot to make the movement slide easier. Straighten, lifting if you can. Pull back underneath you. Try and stay nice and tall in your chair. Straighten, lift that foot off the floor if you can. Squeeze that thigh muscle at the front. And then squeeze the thigh muscle at the back to bend that knee. Good. We're going to do one more. Straighten that leg, squeeze that thigh muscle. And then bend back to pull underneath you. Lovely. Okay, we're going to come into some upper body. warm-up and mobilization exercises. So sit nice and tall in your chair. I want you to think about really nice posture, like we just practiced in the warm-up. So nice long spine, shoulders back, tummy muscles all pulled in to support you. We're going to shrug those shoulders up towards your ears and then relax them down. Shrug shoulders up towards your ears as much as you can and relax down. Good, that's 2. 3, let's shrug them up as high as you can and then relax them down. Nice. And 4, shrug those shoulders up and then relax them down. Lovely. Shrug those shoulders up and relax them down. Lovely. And again, shrug those shoulders up, squeeze, relax them down. Good, we're going to do 3 more. Shrug those shoulders up, relax them down. Good, 2 to go. Shrug those shoulders up, relax them down. Fantastic. 1 more. Shrug those shoulders up and relax them down. Fantastic. Next one we're going to do is to get the muscles at the back of our shoulders working. So the muscles around our shoulder blades. These are really important to help us with our posture, but also to help with the stability of our shoulder. So without stability, we will find it difficult to get good movement. Okay, so we need a nice stable shoulder to allow us to move our arm much more freely. So it's really important that we work on the muscles, especially those around the back, because they are the ones that tend to be quite weak on a lot of people, especially after having a stroke. You'll find generally, if you've got movement in your arm, the muscles at the front of the shoulder here can become quite tight sometimes and a bit overactive, and the ones at the back are generally weaker. So that's why we really like to focus on getting these muscles working nicely and getting them as strong as we can. So sitting tall in your chair, I want you to think about squeezing your shoulders back together and down. So if your shoulder blades are on your back here, I want you to think about them coming back together and down, as if you're trying to tuck them in your back pocket. And then we're going to relax. And again, squeeze them back and down. Now, it's not a massive movement. Try your best not to get those shoulders all hunched up. Think about them coming back together and then down. You should feel the muscles around the bottom and middle of your shoulder blades working, and relax. Good, remember, not a big movement. Shoulders squeeze back together and down. If you struggle to feel it, you could get your assistant to just put their hands on between the shoulder blades here at the bottom, and you are thinking about squeezing back together and down, so feeling it around that part of your back there. Okay, and again, let's squeeze back together and down. Hold there. Good. Back together and down. Hold. Good, we're going to do 1 more. Back together and down. Hold that there. And relax. Fantastic. Hands together now, so you can interlace your fingers, or you can support your affected arm holding at the wrist. You can also get your assistant to support underneath your elbow on your affected side if your arm feels quite heavy. And we can move, we're coming forward and back. Good. Forward and back. Lovely. Forward and back. Good. Forward and back. Really think about reaching those arms in front of you. Forward, straighten the elbow if you can, and thinking about that movement. And back. Remembering, if you've got shoulder pain or weakness, you're not pulling on your arm. We're just thinking about lengthening it away from you. You could always do this sliding along your lap. or alternatively on a table in front of you. Good. Let's do 2 more. And back. 1 more here. Forward and back. Okay, holding those hands together in front. If you can interlace your fingers. If not, you can use your unaffected hand to support where the fingers meet the palm. Okay, you're supporting where the fingers meet the palm, and we're just going to try and bend your wrist back, only as far as comfortable, and forward. If we're interlacing, we can bring it back and forward. Now, you might not get it back. You might just get to here. Just move within whatever limits you have. Again, really important that you don't force anything, okay? So again, we're pulling back just to where is a stretch, but not painful, and forward. Back. Now, if it's really tight, you might opt to just hold that there for a stretch rather than moving back and forth. And back. Forward, lovely. We're going to do 1 more, or keep holding that stretch if you're just holding it. And forward, lovely. Okay, so we're going to get started in our exercise circuit now. So the first exercise we're going to do them all for 1 minute, okay? We're going to probably get to the circuit twice today. If you want to keep working on it, what I would recommend is when we finish the last circuit, pausing, rewinding to the start of the second circuit and doing 1 more round if you want to, or alternatively 2 more rounds, depends how long you would like to spend working on it. So the first one we're going to do is similar to those shoulder blade squeezes, but if you can, I'm going to get you to relax your arms down by your side. We're going to squeeze our shoulders back together and think about pulling our thumbs backwards, as if you're hitching a ride. Okay, if that's really challenging for you, what I want you just to do is just to try and work on those shoulder blade squeezes when you're sitting here. Okay, but if you can, we're coming here. Now, if you can only do it on your unaffected side, you could keep your affected arm rested here. You could work on having that opening, or better, even better, having that affected arm rested on your arm of the chair or on a pillow, and then working on that backward movement on your unaffected side, that thumb back, and then just really thinking about that shoulder blade squeeze with your arm supported out to the side on your affected side. Okay, so we're going to go for 1 minute. Get my stopwatch ready. 3, 2, 1, off we go. So we're squeezing back, thumb back, hold there, shoulders relax down, and then relax. Remember, this arm is on an armrest or a pillow if you need to, or alternatively, if you have the movement, we could do it down here on both sides. And again, we're squeezing our shoulder blades back and down, holding, and then relax. And again, squeeze those shoulder blades back together and hold. And then relax. Remember that really nice posture. Try and keep those ribs down if you can. Try not to let them stick up and flare. So we're squeezing those shoulders back together. Hold that there. Remember, not a big movement. You're just wanting, that's it, relax. And again, squeeze back and down. You're just wanting to feel the muscles around the base of your shoulder blades working. And back down. Really widening at these collarbones at the front. Lovely. We're going to stop there. The next one we're going to do, so now we've done an opening movement, we're going to do a forward reaching movement. So we're thinking about this opening and closing in this horizontal plane. Okay, because in life, what we need to do, we need to be able to move our arms in all directions. Okay, so it's really important that we work on the stability up here. So part of our core is our shoulders. So we're working on that shoulder core stability so that we can get more freedom of movement in our arms. So this is really important on both our unaffected side and our affected side. So it's important that you work on both. Okay, so this one we're going to do is a cross body reach. So With your unaffected arm, firstly, I want you to think about that nice posture again. So remember that shoulders back and down, okay? Just subtly, we're going to reach across our body with our unaffected hands and back. And then what we're going to do, we're going to do that for 30 seconds. And then I'm going to get you to hold on to your affected arm and we're going to reach across our body and back for 30 seconds. Remember here as well, you could have somebody supporting your elbow. You could support your forearm and think about straightening that arm. Now, if this is a bit of a pinchy movement for you, I'll just get you to reach forward, okay? So if that movement's a bit pinchy in your shoulder, then we can go forwards. So we're going to go 30 seconds each side. Starting with your unaffected side, we're going to reach across your body, stretch as much as you can, and then back. And again, reach across your body. Sit nice and tall, and then back. Think about turning at your waist. Reach across your body, and then back. Good. And again, reach across your body. Think about a bit of weight going down through that affected leg, and back. Good. We're going to do one more. Reach across, and back. Now we're going to support your affected arm. We're going to reach across the other way and back. Good. So you're reaching across to your unaffected side and back. Remember, you might have someone supporting that arm. Doing as much of the movement, or thinking about doing as much of the movement as you can. Good. Remember, if that's a bit pinchy, we can just be reaching forward here. Good. Let's do one more. And back. Fantastic. Okay, we are going to come into our functional exercise. Okay, so this is a lovely one where I'm going to get you to use either sit at the table or you're going to use a tray on your lap on a pillow, and you're going to have a folded tea towel on your lap too. So resting your affected hand on the tea towel. So if you've got tightness in your hand, you might want to roll up one tea towel and then have another one underneath to help support that hand if your fingers are quite tight. So we're going to have, if you are sitting at a table also, that is, you can also do this on a table. So what I want you to do is have the pillow more towards, or the tray more towards your affected side. We're going to think about moving our hand out to the side and across. Out and across. Now, if you're on a table, really think about bringing the movement out to the side. That's the movement we want to focus on here. Again, you can help it with your unaffected hand, or your assistant can help you, but think about the movement. Think about making it move as much as you can. So off we go. We're going out to the side, back to the middle. So remember, if you can make this movement as big as you can on the table or on your tray, I really want you to focus more on the outward movement here and back across. I'm just going to use my other hand to steady my pillow because I haven't got an armrest to put on it. You might need somebody, your assistant, to support the tray if you're using a tray like me. And back across. Good. Lovely. This is a really nice one to practice. And 2 birds, 1 stone. You're also polishing your table. Really nice. Move out to the side. Back to the middle. Remember, if you're on a table, we're thinking about bigger movement. Really bring it out to the side if you can. Lovely. Okay. We're going to go back to the start now. We're going to do that circuit one more time. So remember, if you've got a bit more time, what you could do is you could rewind it now to the back, to the start again, and then just follow all the way through to get 3 rounds done. Okay? So going back to the first exercise, we're doing our squeezes here, or arm resting on a pillow or armrest, and we're squeezing out with our unaffected arm. Both shoulders back together, thinking about hitch on a ride. Okay? To get yourself set up. If you need a bit more time, if you've been sat at a table and you're changing position, then just pause the video and come back to it when you're ready. Okay. Off we go. So we're squeezing the shoulders back together, thumb back, and relax. Good. And again, squeeze shoulders together and back. Really keep nice and tall in your chair. Shoulders back together, thumb turning outwards. And back. Remember, if you can do it on both sides, we're coming here. It might be that you don't get quite as much movement on your affected side, but we're thinking about that turning of those hands backwards, that opening of that chest, and squeezing back, squeezing shoulders back together, nice and down. So try not to let them ride up and back. Good. Thinking about feeling those muscles working in your shoulder blades and relax. Good. And again, squeeze back. Hold that there. And relax. Lovely. We're going to do one more. And relax. Okay. The next one we're going to do is that crossbody reach. So I'm going to get you to start with your affected arm this time. So remember, we're supporting the arm. Your assistant can support your elbow if needed. We're reaching across the body, turning at our waist as well. Reaching across, thinking about lengthening that arm. Now, if that's pinchy for you, remember we can come forward. We can even just work down here, okay? So work within whatever range is comfortable for your shoulder. 30 seconds on each side. Off we go. We're reaching across and back. Lovely. Reaching across towards that unaffected side and back. Good. Really lengthen and reach that arm. Think about straightening that elbow, reaching from the shoulder and back. Good. Do two more here. Reach and lengthen and back. One more. Reach and lengthen and back. Rest that arm down. Unaffected arm, reaching across towards your affected side and back. So when you're reaching to your affected side, think about getting a bit of weight down through that affected leg and back. So feel the weight going down through that affected leg. Make sure that foot is rested on the floor or on your foot plates. Good. Reaching down, feel the weight coming towards that affected side. Good. Let's do one more here. Reaching across, feel the weight down through that affected side. And back. Fabulous. Okay, we're coming to our towel exercise. So if you make your way to your table, or again, get your tray set up on your lap, we're again going to be doing our out to the side, back to the middle. So set up with your tea towels. Sorry, I forgot what they were called for a moment. Your tea towels underneath your hand on your affected side, supporting the tray if you need to with your unaffected hand. Or remember, you can help the movement or have your assistant help the movement, but you're thinking as much as you can. Even if there's no movement in your arm, thinking about the movement and imagining yourself doing the movement with your affected arm. Okay, we are going to be going for 1 minute, out to the side, back to the middle. Remember again, out to the side, back to the middle. If you've got a table and you can make movement bigger, you're bringing it out much bigger to the side. Out to the side, back to the middle. Lovely. Out to the side, back to the middle. Really good. Remember, helping if you need to. Lovely. Out to the side, back to the middle. Really good. Keep it going. Out to the side, back to the middle. Lovely. Out to the side, back to the middle. Again, let's do one more here. So really working on that shoulder, back to the middle, and relax. Fantastic. So remember, if you have a bit more time, please go back and have another go at doing the circuit. You could do the whole circuit again, so another 2 rounds, or you could just do another round. So it's a really nice one to really get some repetitions in for your upper limb movements. Because remember, using your affected arm as much as possible in whatever way possible is a really positive way to try and build those connections and pathways in your brain from to the muscles, okay? So What we're going to do now is just go through a short cool down, and then we're going to finish up. So what I want you to do is, again, sit nice and tall in your chair. I want you to hold your hands together in front, reach them along your lap, and you're going to really round those shoulder blades and drop your head chin to chest. Take some nice big breaths and feel those muscles across your upper back stretching. Nice big breath here. Lovely. We're going to sit nice and tall, and then we're going to squeeze those shoulders back. If you can, you're going to place, you put your unaffected hand behind your back. If you can, bring your other hand behind. Then also we're going to try and squeeze those shoulders back together. If not, have your arms rested on your shoulders, on the arms of your chair, and think about sitting back, squeezing the shoulders back to feel a stretch across your chest. Now the option is here as well. If you feel really tight in your chest muscles, you could use your unaffected hand to just gently give a bit of an assisted stretch to that affected side. So if you find where your sternum is and move just to the side of that on your affected side, and think about gently moving your hand towards your shoulder, just gently. So feel a bit of a stretch in those chest muscles. This is a really nice way of giving a bit of a soft tissue massage to these muscles. Trying to keep your hand nice and flat so you're not poking your fingers in too much at the bony parts. But again, finding that chest bone, moving just to the side of it where you feel a bit of the muscle and soft flesh, and you're just gently applying a gentle pressure and moving that hand towards your shoulder nice and flat. So if you felt comfortable, you could have your assistant help you with this. But it's a really nice way of giving that shoulder a bit of an assisted stretch and really trying to help loosen up some of these tissues in here that can get quite tight. You could also, as you go outwards, you could then just hold that flat hand towards that shoulder for a bit of an assisted stretch here. Thinking about squeezing that shoulder back together. Now remember, it should not be painful, so please don't be pushing into any pain. If you find a bit that's a bit sore, but it feels like a sort of a nice tight sore, then you could always hold your hand over that section for a little bit, or do some gentle little circles over that bit to help loosen that area. If this is your left side and you do have a pacemaker or anything though, please do not go pressing around that area. Don't want to be doing that. Okay, fantastic. So that's just some nice soft tissue stuff that you can do there. If you would like to have any more anything particular in these classes, so if you would particularly like me to work on some stretching and soft tissue work for the upper limb or even the lower limb, then please comment and let me know. If there's anything in particular you would like to see in these exercise classes or you'd like me to include, then also please let me know. So you can do that by commenting below, or you could always send a message to the Different Strokes Charity Facebook page and request anything, and I will do my best to try and include that for you. So what would be beneficial this week, so if you're doing this class with me on a Monday, is to try and do another 2 classes this week, at least, to try and get the most out of these exercise classes. So you might want to, if your upper limb is something that you're working on, then you might want to try the last 2 weeks of the upper limb classes this week to really get those upper limb sessions in. Or alternatively, on the Different Strokes Facebook page and the Different Strokes UK YouTube page, there are dozens of videos. So you can go back and you can have a little look and see if there's any in particular you fancy and just try out some different ones. So there's lots of variety to choose from. So to get the most out of them and to really get some good movement and activity into your week, try at least another 2. If you get more in, then a bonus. Okay, but I hope you've enjoyed today's class. Give me a thumbs up if you've done the class and you've enjoyed it. And I look forward to seeing you all again next week. So have a great week. Take care and stay safe. Okay, bye.